Welcome to the Mental Breakdowns podcast. This is the intro to the intro because I never checked if our name was already taken by a podcast already. And it was. So I had to change the spelling and pronunciation. But you know what? It's okay. It's going to be okay. So I just wanted to, disclaimer. And so if you hear me pronouncing a different podcast name, the Mental Breakdown Podcast, that is no longer the name. It is now the Mental Breakdowns Podcast. Breakdowns with a Z because, yeah. Alright, here's the show. Enjoy. Testing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. This is the Mental Breakdown Podcast, starring me, Zoe, and my friend Fred, where we go in weekly and try to tackle mental health topics and issues, and also topics and issues relating to addiction. We both have a year plus of sobriety under our belts. We met about a year ago at a treatment facility and have been friends ever since. We hope you stick around and join us on this first episode on codependency. We try to have fun with it, try to make it as light as we possibly can, given the heavy topics that we're always discussing. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did, and hope to have you guys join us for many more episodes in the future. All right, here it goes. Codependency. Me. All right. Welcome to the Mental Breakdown Podcast featuring me, Zoe, and
me, Fred Debose.
Hope everyone had a good whatever today is. We're just gonna move right along to current news and events. Oregon's on fire.
No, the whole Western Seaboard is on fire.
The whole Western Seaboard is on fire.
Well, Oregon's really on fire.
It looked like Apocalypse, whatever that movie was. Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now yesterday. Yeah. Red everywhere, lava.
Do you know why it started?
The gender reveal.
Gender reveal. They should go to jail, and the baby.
There are hundreds of fires, but yeah.
They should go to jail. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely.
And I bet you they won't.
Absolutely. And
they have pictures. Who does fireworks in a forest during fire season?
Right.
After a thunderstorm.
Right.
I mean, who? There's a coordinator behind. There's a party. It was an event.
There were fires happening at the fucking time of this. That's just gross negligence.
Emphasis on gross.
Gross negligence.
Disgusting, rude.
Right.
Repugnant. That's one of my favorite words.
And if their child grows up to be an adult and wants to,
they're gonna have to change their name.
If they become trans, I'm gonna laugh in their fucking face.
No offense to trans.
No offense to trans,
but that would be funny. That would be funny. That'd be because I hope they're Christian. I hope they're Christian and conservative. And their child is not.
And millions of dollars of debt now if they get prosecuted.
Yeah, they should be prosecuted. If they're not, that sucks. Yeah, the whole state.
Right.
And we're in the red skies. Did you see the red skies?
Yesterday, yeah. I wanted to take a picture, but I couldn't.
Beautiful.
It was. I was enjoying it.
I was too.
I was enjoying it.
I'm enjoying the cover. I'm enjoying living through this.
Yeah, at least it wasn't 90 degrees.
Cool. I had to go to a hotel.
What?
Me and my man went to a hotel because it was too hot in my house.
Are you serious?
Yes. We went to the Sir Francis.
You didn't invite me or nothing?
No, me and my man.
Okay. Okay.
What was you going to do? Take pictures?
No, sitting on the TV, watching TV or something. I don't know if you got the deluxe suite.
No, I didn't. Okay. We did get upgraded, though, when we got there. So I didn't know until we got there.
Oh, shit. Next time. Other current event, So today was 9/11, or today is 9/11, 19th anniversary, 19 fucking years ago.
So wait, okay, so I remember where I was. Do you?
Yeah, of course.
Because you were a kid.
Yeah, I remember where I was very
How old were you?
I was 9. I was 9.
I was 30.
Mexico.
I was living in Mexico, and I went to work. I was working at this chain of schools, English schools in Mexico City, and I was on the bus going. I lived far outside of town, so I had to take a train and a bus, and on the microbus bus, I was standing there, and they were talking about, the World Trade Center. Oh my God, there's planes crashed into it, and I thought they were talking about Mexico City because I was passing the World Trade Center in Mexico City, and then I thought it was a joke because it was on one of the radio stations where people do the morning show, and it's all funny. It's there was trannies and drag queens and gay people. And then when I walked into the office, and we have these huge screen TVs, and I walked in the office, and so then I thought that they were just joking, and I walk into the building, and I go upstairs, and I see on the screen, right when I look at the screen, the first tower goes down, and my boss comes up to me and says, "They got you." And I was like, and I just remember feeling freaked out. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm in Mexico. My family's in the States. I have family all over the country. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And he was like, and I couldn't call in, but they could reach me. No one in the States could reach anyone because everything was, flooded. Yeah. But then they could all reach me. So I became the hub. Everybody was calling me in Mexico, letting everybody know that they were alive. Right. It was crazy. It was just a crazy, crazy day. Surreal.
Yeah. I was in school. I went to school, and my friends already knew that I have like family on the East Coast, so they ran out. Oh, there's like jets attacking Washington D.C. and da 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 da. And I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. But I think we've seen a little bit on TV, and then the teacher turned it off.
Oh, you were in school, like in class,
grade school. Yeah, they came up to me before school because West Coast time. Mm-hmm. I think we saw a little bit in the classroom. I can't remember. And then I seen the rest of it when I got home that day. Mm-hmm. I just remember everybody was just like, what the fuck? We're going to war. Da, 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 da. That's crazy. We did kind of go to war.
We did. I thought we were at war. Yeah. I mean, we did. I remember talking to my mom and hearing her cry and just kind of being like, oh my God, what's going on? It was something we had never experienced before. Right. And we were adults, so we were like, we've experienced things, but like never like that. That was just insane. Right. They couldn't get the people out of the building in time. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
And then how they fell, and but yeah.
So today, they had the memorials, or the World Trade Center memorial over there in New York City, and of course the politicians were over there doing their politician duty, and they got this, I don't know what you would call it, embrace or something like that, of Biden, presidential nominee, and current Vice President Mike Pence. And they're giving each other an elbow bump because of Corona. And I don't know, I really like that. I really like that with all the, holy shit, with all the, I don't know, just negative back and forth between politicians and just the nastiness and the vile. It's nice to see that these two guys on opposing teams could still do a little elbow bump for a bigger cause.
I don't buy it.
Well, of course, they're still politicians, but I just never thought I'd see.
But it is good. It is good to see them both. It is good to see a picture full of people in the government and Secret Service in masks. Yeah. That's and them being civil. It looks so. Right. I haven't seen this picture until you showed it now. But what is that orange circle? What are they?
That's Mike Bloomberg.
Oh, that's Bloomberg. And look at him. He looks like he looks like what?
Yeah, he was also presidential candidate.
Yes. For 2 weeks. He's running the country already, anyways. Doesn't matter.
Right. He should just stay put. But I really want to know what our president thought of that. I'm surprised. I don't know. He probably.
He's gonna. They probably are gonna have him be quiet.
Yeah. Just. Have they ever had him be quiet?
That's true. Yeah, he's got that phone.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So we got I don't know. I thought this was interesting. Rapper DMX from
Who
Rough
was that?
Riders. DMX is an old rapper, not old, but
Yeah, because I'm old and I don't know who DMX is.
he's a rapper from way back. Rough Riders. He's the one that did the bark. The bark, bark, bark. Hey, it's gonna give it to you. You know, you start out. Anyway,
Isn't that ACDC or something like that? Or Led Zeppelin?
he's the Led Zeppelin of rap.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Okay. All right.
With just the amount of drugs involved.
He's
anyway,
cute.
DMX tears up speaking about his various personalities. He's, quote, I don't talk about them.
He's like schizophrenic?
That's what I first thought.
Or many hats he wears. What do you mean?
Yeah, probably the hats. All right, DMX quickly answered, quote, yes. He added, quote, there are different things. There's a few things, a few people in me, and they get me through life.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hats.
He's had a lot of trouble with the law.
Oh.
And I think substance use or abuse is in his story, but I'm not sure.
Is that a current picture of him?
Yeah, that's
He's
a current,
cute.
and then that's the old, like.
He's cute. He's like a handsome dad.
In his heyday. Yeah. Yeah, I hope he, I don't know what I hope. I hope he stays out of jail.
He went to jail and stuff.
Multiple times, multiple offenses. But yeah, I don't know. First thing I thought too was schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder.
Okay, what is that called? What's the acronym for that? What is that? Oh my God!
Multiple
personality disorder.
I don't think it's exactly that.
But it's gonna come up.
No, it's multiple personality. No, dissociative.
Dissociative disorder. Yes. Dissociative. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I used to think I had that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't though.
Who else? Oh,
I don't.
Who else are you?
I've learned since that I don't. I'm just crazy. Small C.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's not a capital. Shit. All right, and then for some like I don't know, uplifting news. I was trying to find positive news, and I typed in positive news, and then just like hits on coronavirus and people testing positive came up, and I was like, that's not what I wanted. But I was able to find something. Okay, so former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg announced a new financial gift, $100 million. The money will significantly reduce the debt burden of approximately 800 medical students.
Specifically.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then let's just read the quote. Quote: COVID-19 has been especially devastating for the Black community, and the scarcity of Black doctors practicing in Black communities is one reason for it, said Michael R. Bloomberg, three-term mayor of New York. More Black doctors will mean more Black lives saved and fewer health problems that limit economic opportunity in Black communities. Excuse me.
Oh, interesting.
That's dope.
That's dope, but I'm not going to be in. Yes, that's dope. Yeah. Let's just let that be.
I was about to tear into it.
Let's let that be and take it as an intention.
Okay, done. So the tax write-off has to be huge, right?
But that's not even a lot of money, really. And
to him,
yeah, it's and really, if you die, like how what is it, 800 million?
100 million. Just one.
Okay, so yeah, that's like what, 6 students. Yeah. So I can get 6 new Black doctors, maybe. Yeah, but good intention, good direction. Others should follow suit. It's not all his job.
Right, absolutely.
We as African Americans, we need to man up on that.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I think all around the board, all across.
Yes, all across the board. So it's not his job. Thank you for doing that, Mr. Michael Bloomberg. Yeah. But
Oh, and while we're just here, I've seen another little tidbit. Speaking of, we need to do more. Michael Jordan and his Jordan brand pledged $100 million to Black communities. When was this dated?
What is it? So that's okay.
June 10th.
Okay, but Black communities. What is that? Right. I live in where Black. What? Huh? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, thanks. I mean, what I think you should give is to like something very specific, like Black colleges. Like pick a school. Yeah. Give Howard $100 million. Right. And let them lower tuitions and expand their outreach. Give it to, I don't know, something very specific. Black communities. What, they're gonna get Nikes?
Yeah, it's very broad.
Yeah, good, because it leaves it out.
Yeah, I'd like to know.
It makes them look good.
Where it goes in the end. You hear these big ass stories, and then they just fade off into the background, and we don't know.
Not to hate. I'm just saying that, like, it's beautiful. But come on, we could do better. Yeah,
I'm so glad he finally decided to tap in, though.
Yes, me too, because he's got a lot of. Is he the Starbucks one? This one of Michael Jordan, or one of the basketball players owns a big portion of Starbucks.
Oh,
I don't want to throw the wrong name out, but one of them does. A black basketball player.
I won't be surprised. Maybe
Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan.
I don't know. There's maybe Magic Johnson. He's like the entrepreneur.
Yeah, he's got money.
I still haven't seen one of his movie theaters, but that's a whole nother thing. All right, so that was our weekly news. Next, we are going to talk about our mental health topic of the night, day,
time,
moment. Codependency. I don't know if you guys heard it, but following after the break, we will break down the definition, our own personal experiences, and maybe a few tips and tricks to help you or your partner safely remove yourselves from each other's ass.
Yes, all up in it.
Yeah. All right, and we're back. Codependency. Yeah.
I've never experienced that myself, so it's going to be mainly you.
But I'm pretty sure you might have had 2,000.
I've never,
Yeah. Wasn't it in rehab? They said, if you scratch an addict, you can find a codependent, or like scratch the skin of an addict. I don't know, some clever ass shit to say all addicts are codependents.
I know. We should have written everything down. Everything.
Or recorded it.
Yeah.
Oh,
next time.
All right. So Merriam-Webster's definition of codependency: a psychological condition or a relationship in which a person is controlled or manipulated by another who is affected with a pathological condition, such as an addiction to alcohol or heroin. Those are very specific.
Wow, that's okay. Okay.
Yeah, is this camera on? Take it up. And then it says broadly, dependence on the needs or there's shit on my screen. Dependence on the needs of or controlled by another. One more, Wikipedia. Codependency is a behavioral condition in a relationship where one person enables another person's addiction, poor mental health, immaturity, irresponsibility, or underachievement. Among the core characteristics of codependency is an excessive reliance on other people for approval and a sense of identity. Definitions vary, but it is generally defined as a subclinical, situational, and/or episodic behavioral condition similar to that of dependent personality disorder. The term is less individually diagnostic and more descriptive of a relationship dynamic. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's.
I like that one.
DSM-5.
No, I like that. This was because it isn't. They lost me at heroin. And not to judge, because
Right, I'm sitting right
here. Yeah, and I have done everything else but heroin. So, but yeah, I think that. Yeah, if you've been alive, you've been in a codependent relationship at some point.
Right.
If you've had relationships with people, you've been in a codependent relationship.
You want to go off with your personal experience first? Or
Yeah, codependency for me, in terms of my, it's affected me in different levels, different areas of my life. I'll speak specifically on the drug portion, where I have seen codependency personally, not just with me, but including myself, but with others as well, is that the codependent relationships that have that were going on in my life and my friends' lives who were on drugs as well, um, extended our drug use.
Mm.
Because the need for the person who's behaving codependently, seeking our approval or seeking our approval, seeking our acceptance, seeking our acknowledgement,
Yeah.
just gave us space to do drugs and be negligent and irresponsible. And so, yeah, I definitely feel, in hindsight, now that I've had some sobriety time, that my codependent relationship with the people who supported me definitely elongated or made my drug use time much longer. It is my decision, definitely, to use or not. I'm not. There's no blame.
Yeah.
But there is an explanation of that. I definitely know for myself that if I want to help somebody who's is in a self-destructive situation, the best thing for me to do is to step back and let them ride and figure that out. I can be a resource for you, but I can't help you stop being destructive to yourself. That's a personal um, decision that you have to make. And so, me giving you money, me giving you a place to stay, me facilitating you, it doesn't work.
Not by itself.
No.
Itself.
If you're helping yourself, then I can help you.
Right. That's it.
But if you don't want to stop, if you're not taking an initial action to make lifestyle change, then I can't instigate that.
Yeah.
I believe firmly in that. I'm sober because I chose to become sober.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I chose to take the steps that were needed, and the people who were codependent with me had a hard time with that actually, and it me getting sober changed everyone.
The whole everybody.
Even the people who were codependent with some of those people who were codependent. Some of the people who were codependent with me have fallen off, like they're not around anymore.
Of course.
Because their behaviors haven't changed.
Yeah.
And mine have, or they've gotten on board, but our relationship has changed.
The dynamic.
Well, I had to put up boundaries because
Okay.
their codependent behavior was still was a trigger.
Yeah.
It would trigger me.
All right.
So I've had to put up boundaries.
I think I still. I mean, I don't know. I know I still am. I still have my codependency. I don't know, traits, or it's just like a fog in the background, kind of just lingering there. I catch myself. Um, I don't know. I think a lot of it's with family, which is ironic since I'm not.
Definitely.
I'm not the type to like see family every single day or even weekly at that, but I still notice that I yearn for their approval so damn much. And it's crazy because I never thought I'd be one of those people or kids or family members that are just like, I gotta do it for my family. I don't know. I think I just like through drug use and abuse and addiction, I just like I don't know. I lied to myself to the point to where I thought I was this individual person that really didn't need anybody, and I was on my own shit, my own grown shit, and it was so not true.
But isn't that just the isolation portion?
Um,
that's common with drug addiction.
Yeah, it was definitely the isolation. Yeah, it's kind of like that vicious cycle. I'm isolated, so I'm thinking, okay, I don't need you guys.
So who was codependent with you in that situation? Because we weren't the codependents, you know that. People are codependent. Our families were codependent with us.
Yeah, I mean, but we have to be codependent.
It's two people,
right? Yeah,
it's two people,
right?
But there's a codependent, and then there's the person who is who's dependent upon the codependency.
And I feel like at least in my situation, I switched those roles a lot, or we switched those, and I'm probably talking about my mom. Yeah, let's just go with my mom for this example.
Yeah.
So, our codependency, like her, wondering all the time, like where I am, or giving me money. as like last year when I was deep in my shit still and me lying about it, but her giving me money thinking that she's helping me or she's trying to help me survive. When really it was just prolonging the inevitable, prolonging me getting help.
She was supplying that drug addict. She was supplying your addiction.
Absolutely, that's that codependency shit right there. But she didn't know it. I mean, in a way, I don't know. I can't. I don't want to speak for her.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, my parents are definitely very codependent. My family is very codependent, as well, and I took advantage of that by them affording me to be able to buy as many drugs, and hang out and live the lifestyle I wanted. Was funded by them supporting me more than they should have been.
Yeah,
that's all. Like it was. They didn't. They thought they were helping me. Their intention was to help me.
Absolutely.
But it was codependent because they were doing it seeking they were seeking some sort of approval. I wasn't seeking their approval.
Yeah.
At all. I just wanted drugs. I was getting high. I was getting high.
Send the check.
Facilitate my life.
Right.
They weren't giving me money, but they were supporting me in a way so that I could spend more of my own money. Okay. They just facilitated me being able to live a lifestyle in which allowed me to consume more drugs because, my life is pretty easy. Yeah. And they just made sure of that, thinking they were helping me.
Right. Being young, black, in America.
And my mother's reason was that she wanted us to love her. Oh. So she sought our well-being outwardly was what gave her a sense of approval, a sense of achievement. If we were happy outwardly, then she felt like, okay, good job. She could buy us stuff, send us on trips, spend money on us. Then that was her,
that was her fix.
That was her fix.
Yeah. I'm really trying to get to...
Because my mom knew I was an addict.
Yeah.
My mom knew I was an addict.
Okay.
And I believe your mom probably knew. Like you said, you haven't had that conversation yet, but I bet at that time, but I bet you with time, because my mom also came to realize I was an addict.
Right.
But she was codependent with me way before I started using drugs. The relationship was already set up.
Yeah. That framework. Does that make sense? That unhealthy framework.
It was already set up.
Yeah.
And then drugs came in.
And just blew shit up.
Yeah. But none of us changed. I was just on drugs. And she was still her.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that goes back to them saying that addiction is just like a family disease, and that it just affects everyone.
The chosen and your blood family.
Not just the person that is using the substance, whatever substance.
That was hard for me to accept.
That it affects everyone?
Yeah. Because I'm like you. Like I'd be like, I'm fine. I'm working. I'm taking care of myself. I'm not making anyone. I'm not calling you in the middle of the night, raising hell. Right. I'm not that kind of drug addict. I'm not ruining your life. Exactly. You don't know what's going on with me.
You just went to Macy's.
Yeah. That was hard for me to accept. That like, no, I was fucking people over.
It was a rude awakening.
It was. Yeah. It was. I didn't want to be that person.
Absolutely not. I don't think anybody does. I'm really trying to get, like how you said, one person is codependent. I'm trying to figure out what the hell then I was talking about in regards to, I feel like me and my mother's role switched, or we both had a little bit of
that's just your guilt. There's the person who is receiving the codependency.
Right. I'm getting the money.
The tug and pull you're talking about is that they're codependent and looking for our acceptance.
Yeah.
And we're driven by guilt, addiction, and guilt.
Yeah.
And shame. So we feed into it. So we feed back. Like okay, I'll take the money. Like,
might as well.
Yeah, might as well. And you feel better. Like, there's a dance that we're doing here.
Yeah.
And I don't want to change it up. I don't want to speak out about what's going on.
Right. Yeah. And there is also that fear of like, I don't want to mess up a good thing. Like, yeah. All for good.
Yeah, no, yeah. But I think it's housed in guilt and shame. For me, it was.
Yeah.
It was housed in guilt and shame.
Oh no, the shame was definitely there.
Yeah.
The shame was definitely.
So I think the shame. What I'm hearing for you is the shame is coming out, and you're even accepting the fact that your mother was codependent with you. You know, you don't want to place that on her, but you're not placing it on her. That's just what it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hers is driven by guilt as well.
Oh yeah, of course, parents. Shit. Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
she just had to
understand it.
I think also the codependent person has to have some sort of you have to have something that the other person needs. That makes sense. The codependent. I've been codependent in my drug relationships because I would supply I had money and stuff, so I would supply drugs and places to stay and things like that for other people who had less resources. Mm-hmm. So I'm being codependent in that relationship.
Yeah.
Because they need, I supply with the expectation that they're going to keep this relationship going.
Right. And that it just continues.
And it continues. Don't disrupt it.
Don't disrupt it. Keep on feeding it.
Yeah. Don't you see what I'm doing? So you got to be here.
Don't ask any questions. Mm-hmm. Don't rock the boat.
Yeah. Don't rock the boat. Do what I expect.
Yeah. Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's me being codependent. I'm not codependent with my parents. I'm not the codependent with my parents. My parents are the codependent. I'm the dependent.
Got you. Okay, that explains a lot.
So it's a code. That's the code.
Yeah. We're in this.
It's two people
co-parenting,
but the parent is what would be called, I think, in definition, the codependent. We're just the dependent.
Yeah. I like what you said about the boundaries too. I think setting up those boundaries definitely, or setting up any freaking boundaries, because I don't think I had much at all.
No, hell no.
I just think those are just.
Well, I had boundaries. I had to have enough drugs. That was a boundary.
Yeah.
I had to
have enough.
I had to have enough. Whatever it is that I wanted, I had to have enough of it because I was obsessive and compulsive.
Right.
Yeah. That's definitely. One thing that I found in hindsight, and a lot of this is in hindsight, being able to talk about codependency requires hindsight.
Oh, absolutely. You can't do it while you're thick up in it.
No, there was no.
This is just how we do. What are you talking about?
That's my mama, she loved me.
Yeah. Right. With $100 bills.
I love my mama. She's awesome. She's the best. And I can say that now that I'm sober. I can say that again. But it was definitely different. It was, and I had, but codependency, it's just really, it's the power, and it's where the power lies. It's the role. It's where the role lies. That's what, not power, but it's where the role lies.
Yeah.
So you've been codependent, but with whoever you had, wherever you were pulling the strings,
yeah,
that's where you were codependent. Wherever you were manipulating your, whatever you had.
Yeah.
You're also a lot younger than me.
Right. Generation apart.
Yeah. So you might not have had a lot of experience with it so far. Like you've been a dependent most of your life still.
Yeah.
As of now.
I definitely think I've seen it more than I've been a part of it.
Yeah.
Just with people in their relationships. And it's like, y'all two are like the exact same person. Like, I don't know where you stops and then.
Yes.
and I don't know where you start.
What's it called? Enmeshed. Enmeshed. What's his, you never remember their friends at the program? I'm not going to say the names, but those two guys. Oh,
wait.
Muscle guy.
Oh, yeah.
Muscle guy. Yeah. That was. I knew about enmeshed and I'd heard about enmeshed and I've been in an enmeshed relationship, but that was the worst I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
It was because it was a superficial enmeshed relationship.
Yeah.
Which just seemed so tedious
and a little predatory.
Yeah. Oh God.
Super predatory.
But it was very codependent. If you remember,
right?
One had all the money and the wealth, and the other one had to kowtow and Didn't do what the other one said. It was a bit of a, you know.
Spot me, bro.
Yeah, it was. You know, it was very, yeah, right. Yeah, that was a very codependent relationship and enmeshed. And enmeshed relationships are often codependent.
Oh, yeah, I don't see how they can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because me and my mother are definitely enmeshed.
Enmeshed.
Yeah. Close. Just to like inappropriately.
Yeah.
Involved.
That's so funny you say that. I think a friend that I don't want it to get out, but a friend I helped in the past. I saw them walking, and I asked them to get. I don't know. I didn't ask them. I asked them if they needed a ride to work because the smoke was everywhere, and I didn't want them. They hop in the car and they start talking, and I thought they're talking to me, so I'm talking and whatnot, and they happen to be on the phone. They got their headphone piece in, and they're on the phone with their mom. Just chilling, the three of us. The mom on the phone, my friend in the passenger seat, I'm in the driver's seat driving. Just the three of us. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? And they just stopped, like, waiting for me to talk. And I'm like, I don't want to talk with you and your mom right now. I don't want to talk to your mom. I don't know your mom. I don't know them. I don't know them. Shit.
It's
like, how can you not see that? But when you said a mesh, yeah, with your mom, that's
how she sees the relationship is just normal.
Right. This is what my mom do.
You don't do that?
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
And addiction.
Yeah. There's so much more I want to get into.
But codependency is a powerful thing. I think codependency
feels safe. I don't know.
I don't even know if it feels safe. I didn't feel safe. I feel safe now. I feel much safer now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm coming out of a lot of those relationships. Now that I'm saying no, I feel much safer.
Right. I guess there could be a fear of like what happens if I break this? Yeah. What's next?
Change. The fear of change.
The fear of change.
Yeah. But on the other side, I can tell you I feel much more secure now.
Yeah.
I have achieved and established a lot more security in my own right. Because I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm not depending on anyone right now. Yeah. Whereas when I was in enmeshed codependent relationships with my family members, I was super insecure.
Right.
I was super fearful.
Yeah, you needed them to tell you them if something was good, bad,
and if they died or something happened, I'd be like, "Fuck."
Yeah. There
was a lot of fear there. Yeah. I didn't know how I could do it when they passed. I was like, that was a lot of my motivation for using it. I was like, well, fuck it. There's no way out.
I said that with my mom. I said when my mom passes, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to France with the money, and
who knows, right?
Right.
Yeah. Now I'm beyond that. I now know what I'm gonna do.
Same here.
Because I'm doing it.
Right.
I'm doing it now.
I'm not gonna self-destruct when someone else goes.
With someone else's.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I was there for years. From a child to like 2 years ago, I was there.
You die, I die.
I die. You die, and I just go get high.
I'll go with you. I'll meet you there.
I'll be there right behind you.
Yeah.
But I think so. Codependency.
Right.
It's codependency.
Yeah. In a nutshell.
Yeah. And I bet you if we asked them, the same thing, like they probably had fear as well. They probably like, yeah, be better if you just died and came with me. Like they don't want that.
Yeah.
But them knowing how unready we are. Right. Like it's like what's gonna happen when I die?
Or how much we need them.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a quick little break, answer a few questions, and then wrap this motherfucker up.
All right, and now we're in our Q&A segment where we go ahead and answer a question or two from listeners. With that said, we actually would really appreciate it if you guys had any mental health or addiction questions that you've always wondered or wanted to ask or wanted to know more about, and wanted to ask somebody that was actually in recovery or that has struggled with addiction issues, please either reach out to Fred or I personally or leave a comment in the comment section on whichever platform you may be using at that time. Um, all right, so first question comes from, also those will be anonymous. Uh, those questions that you send in, so you don't have to. We're not gonna blow your shit up. So the first question comes from a friend from SoCal who asks, "Is there any advice you'd give your friends on how to talk with someone who is struggling or has struggled with addiction, like what not to talk about or what's okay to talk about?" And I really love this question because I don't, I can see a lot of people wondering this, and I don't know how one could. I'm sure they're out there, but I don't know how one could make it to adulthood without knowing at least one person who has been affected by this mental health issue that is addiction, substance use disorder, specifically. Um, yeah, is there any advice you'd give your friends? I would just come from a place with, come from a place of compassion, an open heart, and an open mind. Um, I actually had a nervous breakdown at a friend's graduation party years ago, and my friend actually did just that. He just showed compassion and tried to console me, and there wasn't much of the, blaming or judging or what did you do? How did you what did you do? There's it wasn't time for that, and there's a time and place for everything. The who, what, when, where, that can be broken down at a later time. But if this is like your first time talking to this friend, or you just want to spark up an informative conversation, yeah, just go from an open heart and open mind, a willing to understand stance, a willing to learn stance that shows you're really in this thing and that you're just in their corner, basically. I think that's what I appreciated the most, just knowing that I wasn't just like left, to just deal with it on my own or told to buck up, or I really felt like, okay, I have some people in my corner that aren't going to just run away at the first signs of trouble. Now, with that said, it can go a little too far. Speaking of codependency, our topic for the day, it can, if a friend is just consuming massive amounts of your time, energy, and resources, if you're worrying about where they're at work while you're at work, or you're putting them up in hotel rooms night after night, or, you know, then it's getting to that point where, okay, maybe I'll take like a step or two back from that situation. But in this case, in the question, keeping the question in mind, I just would suggest going with an open heart and an open mind. And that should be enough, in my experience. So that was our question. We only have one. We're gonna try to spread these out and get some more in. But like I said at the beginning, please go ahead and send us some more questions that we can break down over the course of future episodes. All right, and we will keep those anonymous. Okay. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show on codependency. Namaste. In Beyonce, we pray. All right. Welcome back, listeners. All right, codependency. That was a fun one. In our just little own individual summaries, I don't know, codependency. I'm just gonna stick to the definition people or counselors and outpatient treatment centers have drilled into us. Doing for others what others can do for themselves.
Oh, I like that. I like that. My closing is that it's complex.
Yeah.
And it's complex, and it really takes someone, an individual in that relationship, to have to make a change. Someone has to change. Either the codependent person or the person who's the dependent. one of the persons has to change, and it has to be self-motivated. That's my opinion, and it's hard.
The gong has spoken. It is hard, for damn sure. All right. So that was our show on codependency. We're gonna close out with one gratitude each, and get the hell on out of here. Go first. Go first.
I am grateful for my friend Zoe here for motivating me to do better each day than I did the day before. Thank you, Zoe.
Oh, you're welcome. Your invoice will be in the mail.
I take that back.
No takesy backsies. I'm grateful for my health, I guess. I pulled a muscle today at work because I'm getting old in my chest, and it just made me think of how grateful I am that I still have all my limbs and my fingers and my toes and my sight and my vision and my smell, and don't have corona and all that good stuff. So I'm grateful for my health. All right.
Thanks for checking in, y'all.
That was a wrap. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
And that was our first episode on codependency. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's any questions, mental health questions or addiction questions you'd like Fred or myself to try to answer on future episodes, go ahead and try to get in touch with us either personally or through the YouTube page at the Mental Breakdown Podcast, or wherever platform you hear this podcast on. Just go ahead and leave the question in the comment section. We also have a GoFundMe page. Just search on GoFundMe for the Mental Breakdown Podcast. Any help is greatly appreciated as we try to get more equipment like microphones and all that technical good stuff. Like I said, any help is greatly appreciated. All right, thank you guys so much for your time, and hope to see you on the next episode. Peace.